So guys, when I did that story yesterday about this fan who confronted this UK royal expert Camilla, when I was doing it, it was still raw. It had about 10,000 impressions. Tell me why. I'm looking at socials today, especially on X. And it's a bloodbath that's happening. You know why? Because Camilla apparently got her minions told her what was happening, and she decided to unblock this particular fan. Remember, she had this fan blocked and then replied to that tweet. And now there's a war between Squaddies and Camilla Tomini's minions. But on the bright side, Squaddies are winning, because right now we're being called abusers, we're being called bullies, we're harassment. It's been crazy. Yesterday, this post had 10,000. I think it was even 9 point something to almost 10,000 impressions. Right now, as we speak, it has 1.6 million impressions and thousands of comments. And some of the comments are so vile. When I was selecting comments, I was like, oh no, I cannot read everything. I cannot. I thought this was going to be like, okay, one of those things that were done. But no. This disgusting royal expert, this vindictive woman, went to unblock this girl and started to reply to her, and it's been going back and forth. And of course, Squaddies have to protect and support another fellow. We ride at dawn when it comes to one of us. We don't play about each other. So here's what happened, right? For anyone who does not remember, yesterday a fan took to X and was at Wimbledon, and she so happened to sit behind Camilla Tomini. So she called her out and reminded her, hey, I am Meghan and Harry's supporter, and I don't think we should be talking. And that was it, right? You see, like that is, and people were applauding her for it. So Camilla decided to unblock her, and here's what this vindictive woman had to say. She replied and said, "You are rude and obnoxious and annoyed everyone sitting in our area with your drunken screaming and shouting. Try laying off the sauce and showing some self-awareness next time you are in public, you vile troll." That is what this vindictive woman said. So first and foremost, people are like, wait, that is a lie. Why? If this woman was, this so-called fan was drunk and screaming and everything, why is it that she's the only one who turned behind? When you look at this picture, you don't see like other people are pissed that she's making noise, she's screaming and everything. So of course, like she's known to be a liar, she's constantly lying. No one is going to believe this. And now, of course, like I mentioned, it's back and forth, to a point now Camilla turned off her comments, and of course our Scotty also turned off her comments, but she was like, hey, I'm just turning off these comments right now, I'm going to bed. But when I come back, you guys are something else. Sometimes I'm on social media, I'm like, what the hell? What is going on? And I know Camilla was pissed because she saw that this post garnered 1.6 million impressions. Has I think right now 1 million or something. She was pissed, and this is like, I think right now it's almost heading to 2 million impressions, because it's like 2-3 hours ago when I was doing research for this story. So it's really crazy. This woman is pressed. It's like, oh, so in order, she came forward to the fact that she unblocked this fan to reply to that tweet, just that's telling. I don't know if she's pissed because she had so many people dragging her. This is, oh wait, this is what she said about me, and then let me lie. So this saga continues, and this woman, I love how people are dragging her for saying you're a liar. And the fact that you see how many of these so-called experts, they like to dish, but they cannot to dish it out, but the moment it's dished to them, oh, all of a sudden it's like, woo, oh, Squaddies are abusers, oh, we're bullying, we're bad, like we're a bad fandom. That is the vibe. But no, this fan rightfully called you out for your constant lies and vindictiveness towards Meghan. That is what she did. I don't see how that is abusive. I don't see how that is obnoxious. That is just, you are called out. You are constantly behind the keyboard writing negative things about Harry and Meghan, vile things about Harry and Meghan. But now that someone confronts you, especially this person confronted you, she told it to your face. Unlike you, who hides behind a keyboard. Or now it's like, you troll, you. Anyway, let me know what it's time, because I know you guys are. The comments is where the juice is at. It's juicy. The comments are juicy. And I had a hard time selecting the comments because, yo, I'm telling you, they were a lot. So Benjamin says, this is hilarious. People like Camilla Tomini think they have the right to abuse people because they work for a shitty paper like The Telegraph. I guess she can't take some home truths. I'm glad Camilla enjoyed her day at Wimbledon. At Judy, the Scotty who called her out is called Judy. And then you have Nitro size, Judy, if you are not drunk and you are not screaming and shouting, you can sue her because there are cameras all around and she will have to prove that you did what she said you did in her tweet. And congratulations for calling her out. And Vanessa says, Camilla Tomini claims Judy was rude, loud, and drunk. Yet Cami is the only person turned around. Everyone else is watching the match. I'm impressed with how quickly contamination Tomini found Judy's post considering she blocked her. That is, how did she do it? And then unblocked her to reply to that comment. Oh, this woman is pressed. And then you have Albina says, this old sock has done her fair share of shaping with her keyboard, but the tables are turning. We have voices and Judy used hers with precision. Now, Camilla Tomini's is a liar, can experience a little of the medicine she is always so swift to prescribe. And then this is an old tweet. This one was responding to an old tweet where she said, public opinion defines their reputations. Public opinion is part shaped by the press and social media and commentary, etc. That's what a reputation is. It is defined as the beliefs or opinions that are generally held about someone or something. Well, that's why you were called out. Trisha says, that snooty self-entitled look on her chops. Tomini hasn't let a week go by in the last 5 years of stalking Meghan and Harry online, making up crap, but feels traumatized by a taste of her own medicine for a short while. A self-entitled look says it all. And then Georgie says, if what Tomini says were true, I guarantee she would have called security and plucked a Karen. 1,000%. You want to tell me that this fan was screaming, drunk, making noise, and no one was bothered? I'm sure they would have called security to have her removed if she was creating such a scene the way this liar is claiming, right? Will they just sit there and let her be? Because people want to watch tennis. No one wants to hear somebody scream. They'll be like, hey, get out here. She's causing chaos. Of course, this woman lied. Jason says, gosh, this is terribly uncouth of you, Camilla. Very uncouth. And then Cuta says, you are the most vindictive woman I've ever seen on TV. Put it this way, you on par with Levine and Morgan. I will be ashamed to have the audacity to try and call out anyone you ran your mouth for your wage packet of hate. I will be ashamed to be associated with you. Good one. Kathy says, is that why there's only you glaring at her, Camilla? And then Dr. Marie says, sounds like Carol Middleton was with you then, as she's a drunken lash and Waity Katie cancer fraud is following in her footsteps. Your mom was an alcoholic too, wasn't she? And then she says, well done. I normally don't like it when people do this, but that woman is partially responsible for so much of Meghan's suffering. Very true. And then Danielle says, she looks like a bat. Danielle, you are savage. And then you have Agatha says, you did a good job. Only people who don't know how dishonest and evil Tomini is will question you. 1,000%. Then SK says, what happened to being thick-skinned? The advice all you media bullies keep giving Meghan. You dish out all the bullshit and your lies about Meghan daily. This is the same shit you put Meghan through every day with your effing lies, and biggest one being Meghan made Kate cry when it was actually Kate who made Meghan cry trying to take over her wedding day. I hope more people call you out more and more on your bullshit. Wherever you go, super well done to the Scotty. And Camilla, may every single thing you wish for Meghan come back to you tenfold. Business says that Camilla Tomili is a vile, nasty piece of work, that her karma is coming for her. By the things she said about Meghan Sussex, take what you got at Wimbledon as a warning from Meghan fans. You vile woman. T says, have you paid to have this pushed onto my timeline at Camilla Tomini? Because I didn't invite you into my space. Blocked. Diane says, girl, shut the F up. You're just the rightfully call you're just sad she rightfully called you out. True. Cole says, you calling someone obnoxious is like Trump calling someone a P. Oh. And then Paul says the publicly rude and obnoxious at Camilla Termini, who's made a career out of being a vile troll. The irony. Stop the Bollock says, nobody else looks annoyed apart from you. In fact, you're the only one turning around. You lying piece of S. Claire says, the irony of you calling someone else rude and obnoxious. I know, the irony. Then R says, all the woo is me Karens have the audacity to sympathize with a woman who abuses and lies on Meghan for a living. Girl, you didn't go hard enough. If I got thrown out of Wimbledon, it will be worth it. Pop that rosé. And then Todd says, everybody hates Camilla Termini. I agree. And then Tom says, oh, do F off. You sit behind a computer spilling unattributed bile against the Duchess of Sussex. There's a word for you and it's hypocritical. You're just a used up tard. And then Unique says, well, you lied, so expect more because you keep lying. Meghan said, tell truth. We have receipts. Eminza says, now just because someone told you to your face you are a piece of S, you want to cry again, Camilla? Apparently, it appears so. And then Phil says, obnoxious pirate with a press card disguised as a journalist who annoys everyone with the many lies and conspiracies on Meghan is calling a lady obnoxious and rude. And then you have Just the Fact says, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. I'm glad she said what she said. Now you see how Meghan feels. You're rude and you're lying on her because if there was a drunken ruckus, they would have been thrown out. See, you know your followers are dumb and will believe you. Exactly. They're so dumb and they're believing all this shit she's telling them. And then Duchess says, imagine poor old Cammy getting told home truths. See, that's the thing. People will tell you truthfully what they think of you. If you don't like it, get off the pot because it ain't gonna stop no matter how much Botox you have. So the other comments are very not YouTube friendly to say the least, but you can go check them out because shout out to this Scotty. I'm still so proud of her for calling her out. And you see how she's so pressed to a point she had to go and unblock her just to respond to that tweet because it gained so much impressions and people were dragging her. So now she's like, oh, and she's now lying saying this fan was drunk and she made her have a bad experience at Wimbledon. We know that's a lie because if she was creating chaos or whatever, she would have been thrown out. So stop lying. Again, you've just exposed yourself for the liar that you are. Anyway, guys, this is what's happening. It's really trending. It's a bloodbath on social media, but I love how Scotties, we stick to one another and how we support one another. Love that. So as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm Miraj and I will see you in the next one. Bye.